Hello there, I'm Jimmy. In the last videos, I explained the secret Son of God. I explained why it was revealed now, and now that it's revealed, what's going to happen next? Well, in Thessalonians 1 talks about a time in the future when people will say peace and safety, and then sudden destruction will come upon them. I believe that this peace agreement that Trump has put together along with Kushner is that catalyst to where people are going to say peace and safety. There has been no peace or safety for the Jews since the beginning of their dispersion. They've always had problems, and they're going to have problems until the very end. That's just the way it is. But this information is intended, I believe, for a select group of people. I don't believe it was meant for the wise or the Christians who have already accepted Christ, or for the wicked who won't understand or refuse to believe the love of the truth that they might be saved. So it's not going to them. It's going to everybody else. All of the disillusioned, all of the misinformed, people that didn't know that Christ is actually the Son of God. I mean, in the first two videos it's explained, and everybody that thinks that Adam was the father of Cain and Abel were wrong. We were all wrong. I was wrong too. It was a secret hidden from the beginning of the world by God himself. The secret of the seeds. Well, it was a secret. You got Cain, the serpent seed, and you have Abel, the woman's seed, or God's seed. It said that the woman's seed would overcome the serpent's seed. It couldn't have been Adam's seed because Adam had already fallen into sin. When you sin, you become the servant of sin. So the servant has no power over the master being the devil. Okay, so it couldn't, the woman's seed has to overcome the serpent's seed. The only one that would be able to do that would be God's seed. Okay, that's why I know that the woman's seed's God's seed, because God's seed is the one that overcomes the serpent's seed. In Revelation, it's Jesus that comes back and destroys the serpent's seed head with the wound to his head. He's transformed from the woman's seed in the beginning of Genesis to Jesus in Revelation. How did that happen? Okay, pretty simple. God said he sent his only begotten Son into the world that we might live through him, and that's what he did. Abel was his only begotten son. After Cain and his daddy slew him, that act created our future Lord and Savior Jesus. That's why I said when he sent him back into the world, right? He sent Abel into the world that we might live through him. Abel is Jesus. Jesus is Abel. Simple as that. And this is the love of the truth that Paul was talking about in Thessalonians. It's a sure lineage from God to Jesus that proves the bloodline. And if you don't believe it, that's when God is going to send a strong delusion so that people will believe a lie. I thought, wow, how come they wouldn't believe this? What's keeping them from believing this? Okay, they can be saved if they believe this. What is their trip? Right? And I found out that the wicked, who this information isn't intended for, unfortunately, because they won't listen to it anyway. So it's not that they can't understand it, it's that the unrighteousness in them won't permit them to believe it. And so they get to go with their daddy, and the angels are going to get to go in the end into the lake of fire. This video is meant for everybody out there who isn't wicked and who isn't wise. They haven't made the choice yet to become wise. This information is intended for you. I think from God as a warning, your last warning. Wake up. Understand that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of this world, and He's coming back soon. How do I know this? Because of what it says in Thessalonians. This information people will refuse to believe. This is what causes the falling away to occur. I told you that in the last video. But yes, people will believe it or they won't believe it. The people that believe it will fall away. The falling away has to occur before the Antichrist can be revealed. One other thing, the one who's letting the mystery of iniquity work, also in Thessalonians 2, has to be taken out of the way. Well, who's that? That would be the dragon. In Revelation, Michael and his angels cast the dragon and his angels to the earth. Okay? And that's who's being taken out of the way. The one that was letting the mystery of iniquity work was the devil, the dragon, same guy. When he's cast to the earth, he's taken out of the way, and that's the other thing that has to happen before the Antichrist will be revealed. So evidently the dragon is still up there because he doesn't get cast out until the opening of the sixth seal, I think. The sixth trumpet. I can't remember right offhand. Anyway, I think it's the sixth seal, when he opens the sixth seal. That's when the stars of the earth are cast, stars of heaven are cast to the earth. Of course, they couldn't be stars. If they were, there would be no earth. So it has to be something else. The stars that are being cast out are the devil and his angels. So I think it is in chapter, the opening of the sixth seal. If I'm wrong, I'll get back to you on that one. But this is raw, unedited. I'm not editing any of this. This is coming from memory, and I'm old, and some things I just forget. Bear with me, please. I'll try to get the information out as best I can. And I might make a mistake, but it's an honest one. It's, I don't remember chapters and verses. I just remember things that happen. And a lot of times I'll remember the chapter and verse because I've just looked at it so many times it burned it into my brain. But yeah, those two things have to happen. How long it takes for this information to get out for everybody to look at it and understand it, and then decide one way or the other if they're going to believe it or not, and then fall away or not. I don't know. I don't have that time frame. But I do know this, that peace agreements, I believe that it's connected to Daniel. Okay? Daniel said that there's come a time when the kings of Media and Persia, or Iraq and Iran, will attack Israel. And then they'll be re-attacked by a he-goat which touches not the ground, that's coming from the west. In other words, you got a flying he-goat. Well, back in the days of Daniel, everybody knew that goats don't fly. So if anybody thinks that was in the past, it's just absolutely not correct. And he's giving information on the future. The kings of Media and Persia are the kingdoms of Iraq and Iran. He says that they're going to attack Israel. And Iraq, or the higher one, comes up last. So that means that the higher one has more power. So that would mean that Iraq would lead the attack, followed by Iran. I believe that. In my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen. When they're going to say peace and safety, and then they're going to be attacked by Iraq and Iran. They'll be re-attacked by the he-goat, which is the United States Army, Air Force, Navy, right? Okay, and then the kingdoms of Iraq and Iran's armies will be completely destroyed. The he-goat, which says stamps on them, and there was none that could deliver out of the he-goat's hand. Okay, that means whoever the strongest force at the time that this happens, nobody can do anything about it. That would be us, if this is the time of the end. If what I'm telling you is the truth. If all of this information is correct, and I'm telling you that it is, all right? I've checked it out, forwards, backwards, and sideways. I've studied the Bible for 40 years, 20 years real hard. The last 20 pieces of information that I couldn't understand in the first 20 was fed to me piece by piece until there's not much left that I don't understand. Okay? I know everything in the book of Revelation. Okay? The book of Daniel, there's a few pieces left that's still not clear to me, but they're fill-in pieces. They're not important. I mean, I can't say they're not important, but they're in between period. What's going to happen between now and then? Okay, I know that the time period isn't 7 years like most people think. Okay, it's 2,300 days, like Daniel said. Why do I go into the book of Daniel, give you all this information? It's because that's what Jesus said. If you want to learn the time of the end, you go to the book of Daniel. So that's what I did. And for the longest time, Daniel is very difficult to understand. Very, very difficult. But piece here, piece there. Oh, that's what that was. Oh, that's what this is. Okay. Oh. Finally, you get it. Okay. I've known since the 70s that this attack was going to occur because of what Daniel said. I told my wife this, told my kids this, told my cousins, my family, right? The last Iraq and Iran war, I thought that maybe that was the time, but no, I believe this is the time now. Everything points to it, everything. There's so much information I want to share to you, but some of it I don't even want to tell you, because it's hard thinking about it, and it's even hard saying it. So, excuse me, I'm going to break this now. If you haven't seen the first two videos, I suggest you go watch them and then make up your own minds. But what I'm telling you is the truth. I'll say good night. God bless. Goodbye.